And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. A pleasure to have you guys here on a very nice weekend in Southern California. 4 days of racing continues today and tomorrow. Martin Luther King's birthday. We're going to be celebrating as well. Today is a very special birthday, right, Chappie? Whose birthday is it today?
Yeah, John Shear. It is his 100th birthday today. Amazing man. And
wow.
He's not here right now, obviously, because of the COVID, but he will be back. I mean, he's a full-time worker. The man's got more energy than George and I put together. And happy birthday, John Shear, 100 years young today.
I know the story's been told many times, but maybe you guys did, there's maybe people watching who don't know the story. When John was a young whippersnapper of just 90 years old, when he was 90, a horse got loose in the paddock, was charging towards a little girl who surely would have been severely injured, if not killed. And John Shear, at 90 years old, literally jumped in front of a horse like you see in those movies and saved the little girl's life. He was injured pretty severely, but he did recover. Just a brave man, courageous, funny man, honest man. And congratulations, happy birthday to our friend John Shear, who today makes it a century. Gosh. Just a wonder, and he's healthier than you and me, Chappie, right?
And me.
No question. No question.
That's amazing.
That guy, he's a stud. And speaking of studs, we have got a lineup today of a couple of studs, man. I am telling you, this show is exciting. We got my man Jay Porty, and that's what G said. That's right, right? That's what G said. He's here as well. I love these two guys, and it's going to be a great show, Chappie.
Yeah, we should have a lot of fun. You know, these two, they know each other as well. So we've got four friends here and good people in the industry who know how to handicap. So this should be a lot of fun and a lot of good information as well, George.
Yeah, let me talk about my man representing Team George O. Jason, he's a TV personality, radio personality. I know he works for Woodbine Entertainment Group. He's got a show on World Beat Sports, G 98.7. He's my Cuban hermano, who I got to know when I was working on TVG, and he's one of my favorites, without question, in the entire world of thoroughbred racing. Welcome to the show, Jason Portando.
Oh, hey, I appreciate it. Great to be back, guys, and I'm coming back with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I got to be honest, because I got nosed out by Skip last time, and it was tough. But you know what? This is even tougher because you're my hermano, and I've got mi amici as well in Gino. So this is tough. GB and I go back a ways as well. So you know what? If I'm going to lose to somebody, it's okay that it's Gino. I'm good at that.
Chappie, tell us about your guest.
Yeah, my man Gino. Gino and I go way back in our days working together at TVG. We've been longtime friends. Gino, of course, has the podcast. That's what G said now. Gino, what's happened? And tell us what else is going on in your world.
Oh, not too much. I love the podcast that I do. I'm on another one with Mike Abadir called the Mike Abadir Show, where I'm a co-host there. On That's What G Said, we talk about everything going on. I mean, from this week, we got the NFL games that we're covering, basketball segments each week, recapping TV shows going on right now, like Shameless and other things. So, I mean, you literally get a little bit of everything. I'm super pumped to be here because I know I can't do worse than I did last time when I got a goose egg. An absolute zero. And I get to hang out with my buddy Porty for a little bit. Jason and I had many hours that we spent talking Woodbine on TVG, many a nights, even a little Toronto Raptors here and there we would talk about sometimes. So very happy to be hanging out with Jason for a little bit today.
Yeah, I've been on both those shows, the Mike Abadir Show and That's What G Said.
Oh, yeah.
Love both those shows. Very entertaining, very informative. Like he said, he covers a plethora of sports, not just horse racing. So it's great. And you know, he's the only one of the three of us that have hair. So that's kind of cool that, you know, we got some representation.
Too much. I had to hide it because I got the COVID hair going right now.
You need a barber.
I could get the ponytail back in. Yeah. So yeah, no doubt.
George, I have one bone to pick with Gino. You know, besides sports, I watch all these horrible reality shows and crazy TV things. Gino's never had me on That's What G Said. What's going on? I just realized that.
I know. I just realized that right now, too. That's it. We're out. I gotta let you know though, he's out. The demand is just so huge. I got like a rope line that I gotta keep people out with. But nonetheless, once with the next few weeks, Chappie, let's pick a big Santa Anita weekend when they've got some of the preps coming up, and we'll have you on and we'll handicap one of those prep weekends. And Porty, you and I can talk about anything. We'll talk a little football, we'll talk a little basketball, talk a little racing, just catch up.
I can talk anything too, Gino. And,
I know.
You
want to talk Cubs?
I invited myself on the show.
Let's talk Cubbies, Chappie.
Anytime, my friend.
There we go.
No. You just lost me. I'm a Brewers fan. You just lost me.
Hey, we're both going to see this year anyways. So anyways, back to reality. Go ahead, George.
Right, you guys don't know, this is the Charity First Handicapping Challenge, where we're trying to raise money for a worthy cause, karma, to take care of these magnificent equine athletes when they retire. And we have already accumulated $1,500 for charity. Our players will start with a $300 bankroll. If they can turn that $300 in mythical money and mythical bets to over $1,000, we're going to add $500 to that donation to karma. So it behooves them to make some money. If they both turn their 300 into over $1,000, then that'll be $1,000 to karma. So hopefully they'll be swinging for the fences and have a great show. Plus, very insightful. You should pay attention. They're going to have $300 to play with, $100 to win on one horse, $100 in exactas, and $100 in the daily doubles. And we're going to start it off right off the bat. Jason, tell me who you like for a $100 win bet.
All right. Well, you said right off the bat. You can't get any more right off the bat than race number one. So let's begin there. Always a good vocal point. And yeah, I kind of struggled with this one. So I said, you know what? It's a good race to take a bit of a shot. They're going 3/4 on the turf. From those that have started, not a lot to move the needle, in my opinion. So I'm going to take a shot with the firster. I know we got more than one in here. I'm going to go to the 11 horse in here. Vronsky Zips Away. I like the combination of Gaines and Hernandez. 1 for 2 at the meet. Not a huge sample size, but hey, 50% is 50%. I'll take that. Meets leading rider aboard. 4-year-old filly debuting. So to me right away, that shows they think they got a little something here, right? Because didn't debut at 2, not at 3. They were very patient, kept this one around in the barn, and now she's going to get a chance to compete later on this afternoon. And I do like the fact that, this horse has some turf in the lineage, right? I mean, the org chart, the family tree is important. A couple of turf-winning siblings. You got speed on the top, speed on the bottom in terms of the pedigree. I like that as well. And the works, not the greatest, but you know what? What time is relative, right? What for me, sometimes, you don't pay attention to the morning works all that much. I'm not sure if Gaines is one to work her horses all that quickly. Debuts with Lasix. So the mare being a stakes winner, as talked about, she's got some sprinting wins. The sire is 13%. Vronsky, don't know a lot about that sire, I got to be honest, but 13% with his turf debut horses, and I think about 11% overall. So Vronsky sips away. Yeah, not going to be an easy one for the track announcer to say, but I like the outside draw as well. And I think in a race where there's not a lot to go on. I mean, Rookie Causeway, okay, I can see people going in that direction with a 10-horse, Pratt and Baltus. I get it. Some others in there, a little bit of intrigue, but I'm going to take a bit of a flyer here with Vronsky Sips Away in the first race here. And hopefully this horse does exactly that and zips away from the field. And I'm hoping to get about 3.5, 4 to 1 on this horse.
All right. Vronsky Zips Away. Carla Gaines certainly had a big day yesterday. Congratulations to her. JJ Hernandez, leading rider here with this incredible troop of top jockeys.
Like him a lot.
JJ's on top. So really good. Carla doing good. That one worked
out. I know Mike.
Yeah. He worked with a Doug O'Neill. She worked with a Doug O'Neill horse, hammering Lemon, and did really well. So working well. Got the connections that are on fire. And hopefully we'll take a big lead on Gino right off the bat, putting pressure on him. Go ahead, Chappie.
Yeah, and a couple things real quick about that horse as well, too. I think one thing is Carla Gaines before wasn't very well known and still isn't a whole lot first time out. But she's been firing first time out more. Yeah, much more recently than in the past. So I think that bodes well. And also, a big thing you mentioned about the works, so many people put so much stock into dirt works that mean nothing for a horse who runs on turf. These horses that are bred well for the turf, they don't work on the grass out here. So if they're working on the dirt, that doesn't translate whatsoever. people get very carried away. Gino, you know this as well as I do.
Yes.
Especially with the clocker reports. Well, a dirt work doesn't mean anything for a horse that's debuting on the lawn. So that being said, I'm not trying to give a push towards his horse, but just a couple of comments. Positive. Gino, where are we going with our 100 to win and why, buddy?
Okay, for me, the 100 to win is going to be at the very end. So hopefully, if I need a little help in the last race to get pushed over to the top, or maybe I've swung and missed so far and I just need to get on the board, I'm going to go to the 9 in race number 9, Fire Polish. Honestly, I just think this horse is gone. I mean, I look up and down the rest of the field. Who is going to go with him early on? He adds the blinks. I like the fact that he's drawn towards the outside. So if for some reason he does need to sit a little bit, he's got a great post position in which to do so. Again, we're heading back to that same man, Hernandez, who has just been riding so well. Yes. And the thing about Hernandez, what I like is that you don't really like typecast him, right? As a certain, like, he's not like a speed rider. He's not like one who can just take a horse from the back. You know, you think riders, sometimes you think, what are their strengths? He feels like he can really do it all. Like whatever kind of horse you put him on, if that's a speed horse, he's going to give you a good speed ride. If it's a horse who needs to be more in a tracking position, he's going to do that. So I've just been so impressed with him. I like Fire Polish in here to try to steal this final race. And if he's around 7-2 or so, give us maybe about $400 or so here in that last one.
All right.
And I think people are, I look at the always saying and I kind of look, doesn't always play on paper the old lone speed angle, which you're looking at here, right?
I know it's like so many times where you just circle it. You're like, it has to be low speed here. I mean, the one direct line's got some pace from the inside. There are a couple others who wouldn't shock me. I just think that a few reasons why. 2 starts back when this horse showed a lot more speed was when he ran really well. Last time out, when they took him off the pace a little bit more, he did not. I just don't think he's the type that really wants to pass horses. So when I see a pattern similar to that, and then they add the blinkers on, I'm expecting, hey, they're just going to go today. I don't think they're going to try to get cute. They're going to say, hey, 2 back, we went. It worked well for us. We almost won that race. Last time out, we tried to grab a hold a little bit. Didn't work out as well. Let's just add the blinkers and let's just go.
So, okay, we lost Fire Polish playing Catch Me If You Can. Last, back to you, Drew.
All right. Before we get to Jason as an exacta picks, that's race number 9 that my man Gino picked. Starts the Golden Hour double. And with Golden Gate being back in the mix, so, well, good to have them back. We got the Golden Hour double back, and we also have the Golden Hour pick 4 that starts in race number 8 at Santa Anita. So low takeout, just 15%. We want to encourage everybody to take advantage of that low takeout and get involved. The Golden Hour pick 4, especially, I love with that dollar minimum. It really has turned into a wager that has paid quite well. I want to also thank Bleacher Crete 16 who says hello. Truth Seeker loves you guys. I love you guys as well, and Jason, I love the fact that we're gonna put it to Team Chappie. Ooh. What do we got with the exacta?
Well, hopefully we do. I don't know if we're going to, but ironically enough, I'm going to that last race as well in terms of my exacta because to me, Commanding Chief, and I like Gino's thinking here because Commanding Chief deserves respect. I get it. The horse has been 8 of 10 in the money, and since going to the turf, hasn't won yet, obviously. That's why he's still available for this maiden classification. But he kind of feels like a horse that's, going to find a way to lose again. So I'm going to put him in that exacta. And, first-time tag is going to help, you would think, for this guy as well, the 3 Commanding Chief. And the question mark, though, where has the horse been? Away for almost 11 months. So I don't know if that was just a break. Horse didn't race a ton of times last year, just 3. So I'm a little bit leery with the break, but still got to use this horse first-time tag. But the horse that intrigues me, and it's ironic that Gino went to that one because I was looking at Fire Polish putting back on the blinkers after having them off for that last start. But what about the 2 in here for a bit of a price? Mongolian Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, not bad with his horses debuting on grass. So I'll take that to 12%. He's 13% overall with his turfers, or about 15%. I really feel like getting the grass. And as much as I talked about Juan Hernandez being a really good rider, Alexis Centeno, I want to see what this guy's got to offer. Pretty sure he's out of Puerto Rico, if I'm not mistaken. And doesn't get a ton of rides, but enough of a sample size to give me the example, to show me what he can and or cannot do. I think this horse is going to appreciate getting to the grass. And if this is the case, I'm not going to see the horse is going to win, but maybe a chance to fill out that exacta. So as much as I respect G and his pick with the 9, I'm hoping he's wrong. I mean that in the most loving of ways, by the way, Gino. But I'm going to box a little 2-3 exact. I'm going to play it for $50 and box it and go 2-3. And I'm hoping that's the way it comes, because obviously it's going to return a little bit more. But that last race for me, the card overall, outside of maybe 1 or 2 races, I think it's a really good betting card, because anytime you have a bunch of possibilities, I love this card a lot today.
All right, definitely a great. Mongolian Kingdom looks to be the best bred for the grass, and this is his first time on the grass. I don't think there's a better breeding for the grass than this. Animal Kingdom, Loire de Saint-Amand, used to love Loire de Saint-Amand on the grass. Dynaformer. So Centeno won yesterday a stakes race, so good for him. He's doing really well, and an apprentice with a bright future. And Gino's got a bright future.
I'm young again. I'm young again. It feels great to be young again.
Oh, jeez, I love it. I love it.
I'll tell you one thing, Jason, to take away from that, a couple of key things. Obviously, both dropping in for the tag. And, the one thing that tells me not to worry about the layoff with Commanding Chief is when Rosario was named aboard. I think that's the tip back there that the money run is today. So, Gino, what are we doing with our exacta, and where are we going?
We're going to go to race number 5. We got Calbred maiden special weights on the turf course here, 6 furlongs. Now, I think there's a scratch of the 4. Annie Graham will take one of the contenders out of the race. I'm going to the 7, Our Little Tiger. The 2 Big Claire is going to take some money. We're also going to get some money from Delta Win, both very logical first-time starters. But I like the fact that Our Little Tiger has a race of experience on the grass. It was actually really good. She completely missed the break in the debut, and she actually, sometimes a first-time starter misses the break like that, they don't even pick up their feet. They're absolutely done. She showed some ability. She relaxed. She picked up her feet. She passed some horses late. I thought it was pretty darn good. The dam of this one's a 5-time winner. They have a sibling that won on the turf. She's getting Lasix for the first time today. She's got the experience edge over a lot of these talented first-time starters who could come out running, but maybe late they get a little weary. Maybe they're still a little green. They're figuring things out. Give me the number 7, Our Little Tiger on top. So I'm going to play an exacta with the 7 over the other horses that I was mentioning, the first-time starters, the 2, the 6, and the 9. So I'm going to put the experience of the 7 over the 3 first-time starters in an exacta 2, 6, 9 underneath. So the 6 Big Beauty is actually a pretty intriguing firster. We were just talking about a horse that Jason liked that was really beautifully bred for the turf. I think the 6 Big Beauty is another one who's got very, very nice turf breeding. It just shows you when you're Juan Hernandez and when you're riding well. We've talked about, like, every race we've discussed, he's on another live contender. This is another horse who wouldn't be a big shock here with the 6 Big Beauty. And Seiss can absolutely pop with a horse first time out. I'm hoping he comes out I'm hoping this filly comes out running, but just good enough for second. I'd love me a 7-6 exacta, but I do think the other 2 firsters are live. Give me the experience on top of the 2-6-9.
Yeah, Gino, and a couple things real quickly about that 7, which I agree with you. I did see the replay, and you're right. Horse off very slow, made a big middle move. Definitely had some run and kind of flattened out a little bit. And a comment from our friends at Trip Note Pros that I had read about this horse. The horse was very, very washed out before the race. Great point. Take note of that. Maybe, obviously we're betting this ahead of time, but everybody else watching, maybe look in the post parade and on the track to see if this horse is washed out again. Because if it's not, another positive sign towards Our Little Tiger. And I think you're going to get with some other horses, with Pratt getting on a first timer and I think you're going to get every bit of 5 to 1.
I agree. Completely agree. I felt like those 4 horses, because with the 4 coming out, were the ones that I'd be looking at and playing multi-race exotics. And just from a pure wagering standpoint, give me the one that's probably going to be the better price with the experience on top of the ones that are going to take a little bit of money. I just thought that was probably the best way to gamble on that race.
Yep, no question. George?
All right, before we get to your daily double pick, Jay Porty, you wear many hats on that show, World Beat Sports, producer, host. You do it all. Tell us a little bit about that show and what can we expect when we listen to it?
Well, for me, the key is I like to think outside the box because almost any station in North America, you can find your hockey, which is now back. You can find your NFL. You can find your even football in terms of soccer. And then you go on basketball, et cetera, et cetera. But we do cricket as well, which is huge around the world.
Awesome.
We also do track and field athletics. So, yeah, we hit everything.
Crazy.
We hit everything. And a lot of people go, cricket, what's that? You know, and I said, yeah, well, you know what? It's huge. Look at Australia and India, and they have test matches. And just because it's not as big in North America, we have a lot of people from those locales that live in North America, right? So I like to think outside the box. But, you know, just yesterday on the program, you know, I talked NFL because obviously we're down to the quarterfinals now. So we're down to the final 8 teams. We got 2 more games coming up a little bit later on today. I talked basketball with the Raptors finally putting together a win streak for the first time this year. They beat Charlotte a couple times in a row. I did some cricket as well and some soccer because soccer is huge as well. We got MLS for the North American teams, but I talked Champions League. I talked Bundesliga. I talked FA Cup. There's a big one going on today. I don't even know who won between Liverpool and Man United for top spot in the Premier League. So, yeah, we talk it all. Whatever is hot, golf, whatever is going on. Nice. Rugby, you name it, we'll talk about it.
There was a hot topic with my man getting traded from Houston. Harden to the Nets. The Nets got the big 3 now. What's the chatter about the Nets? Are they going to be able to be contenders, or are they just 3 selfish guys on the same team?
That's the big question, right? There's only so much basketball to go around, so somebody's going to have to put their ego aside, right? So this is, I don't know who's peaches. Yeah, I don't know who's peaches and who's herb, but, you know, this is the second go-around now for Harden and Durant. Let's go back to the OKC days, obviously, but that obviously, you know, that reuniting there makes them a huge contender now in the East. I think it changes the balance. You know, at one point, the Raptors had it easy in that Atlantic division because it wasn't that strong. Now it's a completely different looking division, I should say. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I still think the Lakers are the team to beat because they won the bubble ball last season, and that team wasn't as good as this one. Yeah, so I still think the Lakers are clearly the team to beat.
Agreed.
I think you're clearly the person to beat here. We're going to take Gino down with a daily double.
How's that for a Sekou? Nice segue. I like it.
All right. Jason, where are you going with your daily double?
All right, daily double, guys, going to start race number 6 with Hung Jury. So I had to lean on a little bit of Woodbine form here because the horse has got 1 lifetime start, and it was a winning one. I got to be honest now. That horse looked really good doing it. The figure didn't come back the biggest. Didn't beat the toughest bunch of maiden optional 40s. But again, it's the way the horse did it. The horse came here from out west, Hastings Park in Vancouver. First lifetime start, and it was never in doubt. Broke running. Jerome Lermite took the horse back, put in a big run, and then just cruised across the stripe. And we've seen Phil D'Amato do really well, especially recently with these Canadian acquisitions. So I'm hoping that Hung Jury will continue this theme. Pratt rides, obviously a good sign there. D'Amato does well first time out with his new acquisitions and off this kind of layoff. So I'm going to start the double with a 7. Then we get to the race of the day in the Grade 3 Astra. And this one I think is wide open. I mean, just to go through a couple of the horses quickly, I respect Altea, the 3-horse in here, who's, you know, kind of battle tested against Grade 3 company, but can't ignore the fact that she's 2 for 24. So I'll pass on that. Just a couple others intrigue me in this race. Not now. I'm doing something, so you're gonna have to wait. Sorry. Quick is the race favorite. You know, I don't mind Quick if she was like maybe 4.5, 5 to 1, but I can't take her on the line at 5 to 2. No. That last start, she shows up with front bandages on. It was okay, but it didn't do much for me. It was the red carpet, I think it was. And then you go to the defending champion, Miss Pain Tour, and you look at her, and she's trying to become the first ever to repeat in this race. And I know it hasn't been around for that long, just the last 5 years or so. Pratt's won this race a couple of times, like Brice Blanc. So he's trying to become the first rider to do it 3 times. I respect that horse, but I'm going to go to the 1 in here. And that is Avenue de France. She's going to have to pick it up. She's never been in a graded stakes event before in her career. And I know she didn't beat the toughest group, perhaps, in that most recent one. But I will say this, it's the way she did it. I really feel like stretching out is going to be exactly what she wants to do. And she was running so hard, guys, in that last race. She got a perfect trip. But Van Dyke didn't even get a chance to hit the horse because he didn't need to. It was just a hand ride all the way through and got the perfect seam to split through those horses. And I really feel like Yes, she's going to have to be a little bit better, but this is not out of reach. So this is my price double, 7 and 1 to races 6 and 7, guys.
Sounds good. Avenue de France certainly looked good winning that race. The Miss Tour, owned by JMS Stables and owner of JMS Stables, Samantha Siegel, will be on the handicapping challenge on the 29th. So definitely you want to see that, one of the iconic classic figures here in SoCal racing. Chappie, let's go to Gino for his daily double.
All right, Gino, we're going to the double. I think I know where you're going. You and I discussed the horse we kind of like together before the show started. Where you heading for the double?
Yeah, I'm going to race 1, and I just want to give a little endorsement also to Jason's Avenue de France's too. If you're playing the races later, throw that 1 on your tickets for sure. That big shot. Good luck on that one, Porty. I like that one a lot, quite a bit.
Nice.
In race number 1,
right,
I'm going to go double, and it's going to be funny. We're going to have a couple races where Jason and I are head up right against each other in the first and in the last. So in the first race, my double is going to be with the number 8 Summer Rose. Let's talk a little bit about the 8 Summer Rose. So she debuted back on September the 2nd of 2018 in a race where there were 3 next out winners, including a horse named Sneaking Out, who is a multiple graded stakes winner. The 4th and the 6th place finishers came out of that race to win next out. She then had 27 months off. Not like a 7 months off, 27 months off. She comes back on December the 11th. She breaks outward. She's bumped a little bit, but she recovers pretty quickly. And she moves to the lead slightly in a group of 5 who kind of all want the lead. She's inside dealing with all of the pressure to her outside off the bench. Now she's going to put 2 starts together. She's had over a month to recover from that race. So if it took a little something out of her, plenty of time. It's not like she's going to bounce coming back off of that effort. She hooks a field without a ton of other pace on paper. I don't know who's quicker than her naturally. She's drawn well. She's working well for this in the mornings. Just shows me she's feeling good right now. And then if we just talk about the pedigree, the dam was 5 for 18, won at Delaware, Timonium, and Laurel from 4 furlongs to 1 mile and 16th. So that showed you the dam had some versatility. So this 6 furlongs should sort of hit this one right between the eyes. She has had 2 siblings to race. One has raced on turf 3 times, didn't win, but finished 2nd and 3rd. The other one raced on turf and finished 3rd. So if you look immediately, you'd think, there's not a whole lot of turf. But when you dig in, the horses only raced on grass a little bit, and they all actually raced really well. I like the 8 Summer Rose in here quite a bit. I thought about making this my win wager, but instead I'll try to double it up, and we'll connect the double to race number 2 with the $50 double with the 8 on top. And then in race number 2, I sort of like the 7, Miss You Mom a bit. You know, just looking at the way this race is going to shape up, Girona's got a little bit of speed. I think from the outside, Majestic Diva is going to be showing a little bit of speed. You're going to get some speed from Destiny's Journey. Those are 3 horses that are probably going to be all right up on the lead. And look at how consistent Miss You Mom is. You know what you're going to get from her. She always comes running. She just needs a little help. She's going to take back, she's going to settle, and she's going to try to make that one run. The question for her is, will she get enough pace to run at? I think so. She wasn't far behind a couple horses that she's going to face again today, and I think there's more pace in this race to set up. Her overall, she just doesn't run bad races. I would prefer her, but I think the race sets up similarly for the 2, Lula Maru, who has maybe even a little more tactical speed than the 7. So I'll use those 2 in the double, thinking that maybe the 2 gets the jump on the 7 and the 7 comes flying. I'll hope one of those 2 from off the pace.
And real quick, George, just to add about a little something else, Summer Rose. You know, like you said, off that long lap, you know, this horse comes back as a 4-year-old. They probably could have ran for a tag and not.
Sure.
You know, they chose to protect this horse, and I don't think anybody was going to claim a horse off of a long layoff as a 4-year-old second-time starter. Now a 5-year-old making her 3rd-time lifetime start and bumped at the start. I think this horse has a good chance to go wire to wire. So I think we're going to get off to a big start, George. Back to you, buddy.
All right, we got less than a minute. So you, the handicappers, look at race number 3. That's going to be the tiebreaker. Me and Chappie are going to do rock, paper, scissors and see if you guys can pick a horse. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Tied. 1, 2, 3. You're tied. 1, 2. I'm going to mix it up. 3.
Oh, my God.
We're giving 3 minutes on this. 1,
This is
2,
the show.
3.
You got it.
Go ahead, Jay. You go first.
Oh my gosh. I'm just taking a look as we speak. I'm going to go John Sadler, Tyler Bay's best chance.
I got the one Ranger.
Who do you got, Gino?
I got the one Rager.
Ranger for Gino. Look, I love both of you guys. I'm only kidding. Gino, I hope you do fantastic. I love you guys both. Thank you so much for being on the show. I am only saddened that one of you has to lose because I'd love to have you both back. You're wonderful. Chappie, any last words before we say goodbye?
I had a great time today. You guys are wonderful. I wish we could both come back, but thank you so much. A lot of great information and tons of fun for this half hour.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you.